Welcome to the Smart CEO Smart Chat. I am Kyra Hardwick, and I am thrilled to be here with you. Thanks for tuning in. We hope that this episode will be an incredible influence on the way that you do the work that you do every day. So whether you're a smart CEO, working from home, working from the office, simply navigating your life and family, whatever it is, today's the day you made a great decision to tune into our podcast and get this smart talk. So let's dig in. Hello, Smart CEOs. Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Talk Podcast. This is none other than your host and founder of the Smart CEO community and the platform, Kyra Rénel. I am the CEO of the Kyra Company, and I am the proud host today of our Smart CEO Accelerator alumni. And if you're in this series, you realize that you have been listening to a series of greatness. So hopefully you have been binge listening and watching the Smart CEO podcast, because oh my gosh, our class of 2022 alumni from our Charlotte market have been absolutely phenomenal. The Smart CEO Accelerator, listen, you guys, we keep outdoing ourselves, and I'm excited for you to meet our guest today. So before we go too far, let me just tell you, we're going to talk about the world of financial services and a little bit about business infrastructure, but you're going to get to know our Smart CEO alum who has just moved into her alum space. She'll go through her capstone in about a week or two. So by the time you see this, she's in full alum. She's a smart CEO, welcoming you hopefully into the community as well. But I want you to meet Sharai Lavoie.
Yes.
I want you to meet her. I want you to get to know her. I want you to take as much time as I did to prepare her last name to come out of my mouth correct today. Get intimate with her. Let me introduce you. So Sharai Lavoie is the founder and CEO of Lavoie CPA PLLC, a WBENC, that's a woman-owned, certified financial operations firm based in Charlotte, North Carolina, delivering accounting as a service, pairing day-to-day accounting with fractional CFO. She is making our lives easier, guys. The controller role, supporting and forecasting and finance tech implementation. So listen, we're going to dig into every one of those verticals, because Sharai, that is the small businesses, listen, that's the dirty side. I always say I'm on the dirty side, girlfriend. You are on the dirty side. She is a Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business alum. Hey, alum, me too. I'm telling you, Goldman Sachs is good to us. And a Charlotte Business Journal Women in Business honoree. Me too. I know. Girl. This is so good. So y'all welcome to our conversation, because we're getting ready to get this. Sharai has led the firm to 1 million plus in annual revenue since its founding in 2009. So listen, that's almost the last 17 years, you have been blowing up the accounting space, creating ways for us to come better and understand and learn what we need to be doing to maximize our infrastructure. So Sharai, 2 million, get our numbers right, people.
2 plus
million with an M.
Yeah.
Let's get it together, which we're excited about. And it's a growth stage accelerator. So the goal here is, if you're in this accelerator, you're on that curve of growth. And our job in this accelerator is to shoot you to the moon. And so, Sharai, welcome. How are you?
Well, thank you. Thank you, Kyra, for having me.
It is my absolute pleasure. Okay. So first thing I want to know is how you even got into the space of accounting. Is that your native language? Is that where your degree originated? What got you into the space where you're talking numbers, finance, infrastructure, and forecasting? What got you here?
I didn't think this what accounting was, actually. I did not start out in accounting. So and I clarify that by saying that I did go to college for accounting. I have my BS in accounting, and I got my MBA from Wingate. I have my CPA, CGMA, all that good stuff. But when I decided to take accounting, I thought accounting was opening a business, running a business, deciding on the day-to-day and deciding what to do with it. So when I had my first exposure to that, that's what I thought it was. And I was like, oh, I can do that all day. Let's go. And so I got to college and I started actually getting into my major, and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be at all. I got a really great education from Johnson C. Smith. Cannot thank them enough. And I had great mentors and advisors there. And one of my advisors, he said, you know what, just keep the path, do internships that have nothing to do with what you're doing. And I did that. And he was like, because what you're getting now, business owners go back to get. So you're going to, regardless of what you do, you're going to have a foundation. And that has served me well. So I've always played in that financial operations land, just being that liaison between IT and finance and working more from the business side of the accounting. I went up through the traditional ranks, but that's why I ended up being. So that's how I ended up in this space, and just really came to understand that your numbers tell a story. And if you don't have a handle on that story that your numbers tell you, then you can make a lot of face plants that you don't need to make.
That's so good. That's so good. And I love that you helped us see that your trajectory, you were on the accounting pathway. What probably most people would know, that's like traditional accounting, but in your head, that was not where you were going. So somewhere between here and there, wires got crossed. So what I popped up in my head was, okay, what class was it while you were at Johnson C. Smith that you were like, wait a minute, what is this that I'm doing? What class was it that made you go,
Accounting 101?
First class. Okay, got it. Got it. You jumped in. So do you love numbers? What is the thing that you love?
I love numbers, but I also love the story that numbers tell. So numbers don't lie. You can tell me any story that you want to tell me, but if I look at your numbers, they don't lie. So either you don't know what's going on, or you're just trying to get one over on me, one of the two. And so
love
the
that.
part that I love.
It's the storytelling. Business owners miss the idea that storytelling is the biggest component of being able to actually sell the value of their business, right? So it's your ability to talk about the value you bring to the world, how you make an impact, how business owners or how your customer receives the value of your service, and telling it through the lens. You know what I found was the biggest one? Telling it through the lens of your customer's eyes, not yours.
And that is a huge thing that we always want to say what we do, but it's what we do. How the time to value is what I call it. What is my time to value for my client? That's
so
all
good.
I want to really talk about, is what you're getting out of this. Not, I can tell you 50 million things that I can do, but what you get out of it is the most important thing.
That is so good. Okay. So give me like a little bit of this pathway. So you graduated from Johnson C. Smith. It sounds like you knew you were going to go down an entrepreneurial pathway.
At some point I did. Yeah.
Did you ever spend time in corporate?
Yes. I spent a lot of time in corporate.
Okay, I'm talking over you. I'm excited. Tell me a little bit about this corporate journey and then how you ended up running Lavoie.
So the corporate journey, I grew up in accounting. So I started out at cash applications. I started in the basement, and 10 key in my life away. And so I started in the basement and went to the top. And so I was able to really have good trajectory, good people that recognized that I could do different things outside of that. So fast forward, I worked for corporate, I worked for international, I worked for a startup that went from one location to 12 locations in 1 year. That is some hard work and a lot of travel. I was doing a lot of travel with that. And then I went back to industry, which is just general business, did that. And I started my career in healthcare, and I ended my W-2 career, is what I call it, in healthcare as well. I love healthcare. And in that healthcare company, it was a network of healthcare companies. We had other companies like HR outsourcing and DME and all these other things. But I was running accounting for all of them, and had wheedled the department down to 4 accountants for 36 locations and all these other things. So I've always been in a space where it's multi-entity, multi-location, things like that. And so I just naturally gravitate towards, if I've already mastered this and got it running and everything's going, like, what's the next thing to do? So I helped out with IT and a project that they were doing with the requisitioning software that we were building. And then the owner was like, we're doing all this for all of our companies. I'm sure other SMBs would love to do this too. And so I was like, yeah, I think that's great. So he was like, okay, let's put it together. And so during all of these things, there was an opportunity. We were sitting around talking after we talked to some investment bankers about some different things. And so he looked at me and he goes, what do you really want to do? And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he's, what do you really want to do? And I said, I either want to run my own company or materially participate in doing that. And he was like, that's what I thought. So let's put you on that path.
And this was your employer.
He was the owner of the company. And
I'm slowing this down, Sharai, for the listeners. This was your life. But think about that. Your employer saw you.
Yes.
Almost with a magnifying glass, and realized just how valuable your skill set was and how passionate you were. I wasn't there, but this is my understanding based on this story you're telling me. And I'm slowing it down for the listeners because I want them to think about the fact that your natural gifting and that it flows through you. And so you were delivering in excellence. He started compounding the effect, increasing the volume, looking at other ways to do this. He's capitalizing on you, and then paused long enough to say, what do you really want to do? How about you build your own firm? And then maybe that sounds like I guess you could finish the story and tell us what happened after that. That right there is huge. And so I just want business owners to hear it, because sometimes you may need to think about your business, your employees, or your team members a little more dynamically and figure out that there's more. And then the other side, before she tells us the next part of the story, I want you to think about whether or not you're being true as a team member to yourself and what your heart truly desires and what you want to do.
That is very true.
Okay, so that was the suspense. Now, what happened? What happened?
So he was like, let's go out and do this on our own. So we came up with a name for doing this, what I'm doing now internally, and started meeting, doing prospecting, things like that. And so just one day after a lot of things have happened, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go do this. So I have wrote up a business plan that I would never show anybody to this day, because I have my own opinions about business plans.
And me too. Oh, me too.
Yeah, I have my own opinion about those. But I went into his office and I said, look, I want to do this and I'm going to do this. And he was like, I think that's great. And I will help you as much as I can. And he let me stay there while I was working to network and build connections and all that. And I can't thank him enough to this day. And he will still check in here and there. And actually, I texted him a couple of weeks ago, when I found out that I was chosen for the CBJ 2026 Most Admired CEO group. And so I texted him to tell him thank you for believing in me or something I said to him, but I texted him to tell him thank you. And the CFO that actually hired me at that company, I still work with him to this day, and he's gone on and did other things, because I thought I would never get that job, because he asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That general question. And I said, in your job.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But Sharai, you know what? Listen to the power of your authenticity. And again, congratulations, because the Charlotte Business Journal, the CBJ, that award is coveted. And there is a class and a cohort that comes along with that. That means somebody saw it in you. Somebody had to nominate you. And then you had to then go before a panel and be selected. So that was not you sending your name in and saying, pick me at all. And so I just want to say congratulations. And it's so fun. We're like, so there's some spirit animals happening right. I don't know. I'm just making it's here. I'm like, because that thing right there that's on that case that reminds you that what you bring is valuable. Those awards, that's what they are. They remind you of the value you bring. And they also act as notoriety and validation of your credibility. Just that's what we leverage them for. But I want to say to you, congratulations 10 times on that. That's huge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Huge. Yes. And then I want to talk about this leader. So I am in love with the fact that you launched in such a safe zone into your business. And tell us a little bit more, because now we're hearing this technical side, we're hearing this, there's a people person in there, there's kind of, I hear a little, I hear the heavy emotional intelligence, I hear the connectivity to the work you're doing, I hear the honest approach to even just your education, and your professor like, look, stay the course, here's a way to maneuver this uncomfortable space you're in, go find some other things that aren't even related to accounting to round out your curiosity. But in you, and I told you this as we started this interview, I'm getting the sense that you're a bit of a creator.
I am.
So tell us about that, because the multi dimensions here are just endless. So Shari, what is that creative bug or zone or orbit that you occupy?
I am creative about everything else. I can't really paint, but I love art. I absolutely love art. I played piano and clarinet when I was growing up. So piano gave me my love of classical because
Yes.
a whole different level of music at that point. And so all of that. I love fashion. I love interior design. Me and my husband took a duplex into a single family home, and I helped design the whole thing and the interior design and the structure and the space. Like all of that stuff I love. And I actually, my staff will tell you this. I'm like presentation. I'm like, presentation is everything. So
Yeah.
don't send out a plain Jane spreadsheet, because that says more about you than it does about anything else. Because it says you didn't take the time to make it look presentable, and everything should look presentable. My mom always told me, when you leave this house, you represent me. So
That's right.
don't go out there looking crazy. And so I think that carries through with everything, and even that creative side. Like things have to be just, but I need to have that space to be creative. And I think that's why I love being an entrepreneur too. Like, yeah, we could be 25 million and all this stuff, but we're a boutique, real hands-on firm. We're in there in the trenches with our clients. And that's where I want to be, because that's where you can truly add the value. We're not a burn and churn kind of shop as far as that goes. But all of that creativity and all of that, I can bring that into everything. I have the space to do our branding the way I want to. And I have the space to have our message be what our message needs to be. But I also have the space to bring not only the story, but present the stories in a great way that clients can see it. They come with this is what I'm working with, this is what I'm doing. And so it's like, okay, let's talk about this. What are we trying to do? What's the business of what you're doing? So we can be creative. I'm like, I'm here to give you the guardrails, because I'm your risk mitigation person, do the guardrails. You can bump up against them, but I'm gonna bump you back when you need to be. And so all of that, I say all that to say all of that plays into my creativity, because I have to be creative to really understand my client, and understand our client, I should say, as a firm. But I think that all those other outlets I have allows me to funnel that into this, but also go back out of it too. Because in my next life, I'll be the chick on the HGTV demo in a home somewhere.
That is one of my questions. So hold on to that one. That was good. No, that is so good. So you're seeing it in color, that produces the vision. You're a visionary, you're a CEO, and that requires you to see ahead of where your team is today. So I have one question for you that I'd like to dig in before we start talking about the accelerator. But what is the value, I guess I would say, of community to you? How does community play a part in your business daily?
Community is huge, because we grew, one, because of, we started, and I'll say it this way, we started because of me, right? Because this is what I wanted to do, and this was the vision I have and everything. But all of that grew because I had a village and I had a community. Had I not had a village and had a community, there is no way I would have been able to get off my feet the way that I have. And yeah, we could go out and we could purchase other firms and be much bigger and do all these things, but just staying the course sometimes and staying true to who you are, there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally nothing wrong with that. So
It's so good.
that, my community is like everything to me. And that's one of the things. It's even such that I know Matt, this drives Matt DeWall crazy, who's a partner here. But when we start talking about different things, and they're like, oh, use your LinkedIn profile and we'll do this. I was like, no, we're not using my LinkedIn profile because that's my profile and that's my reputation. And those are my connections. And those are people that know that I connected with them for a reason. And so it's just not up for sale for me.
That's so
It's
good.
not. So
That's so
community
good.
is absolutely positively everything because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have that community to help me through. And it takes a village. It
Yeah.
takes a village.
It takes a huge village. And you spoke to some of the chiefs in your village that were on the forefront of the development. And then you decided, I'm planting my flag, I'm going to do this thing. So let me ask you, okay, so you've been in this cohort for 12 weeks. It probably doesn't feel like that. You're rolling into your last set of weeks as we get ready for Capstone. So by the time this airs, Capstone would have happened. They're going to have seen your LinkedIn page and realize that you are truly Smart CEO alum. And just the start of the program where you don't know what's to come. You saw the preview of the programming, but just like what's going to happen while I'm in here. So what I would like to know, Sharai, you're a creative thinker, you're innovative, you're a visionary, you're deep in the dirty side of the business. What was like that one, or maybe there's multiple, kind of rocket fuel jetpack moment or session or forum that you were in that really did it for you, that just opened up your mind to think new thoughts and to start looking at growth in a different way?
I'm going to answer that question, but in a different way. So I actually joined the cohort because this year my focus is scale. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I looked at my calendar and I was like, I can't do this. And then, so I reached out and I was like,
I can't do this.
yeah. So I reached out and I was like, hey, I really want to do this and I really want to be in it. And I know I've been through Goldman and all these things, and I did the whole SBA Emerging Leaders, and I really want to do this. And she was like, okay, you know what? We're going to make it work.
Yep.
And you know what? For somebody to say to me, we're going to make it work because we know this is important to you, that meant everything to me. And it's like, even with the check-in, that check-in, it makes a difference because it's like, hey, how you feeling, what you're doing. It's so much stuff thrown at you when you're in these programs and you try to capitalize on all of it. But that check-in for me, and it may not be the answer that people want to hear, but take advantage of that part because that's your space to really, I think, have your therapy session, I'll call it, because it's all these things.
You're referring to your coach, right? You're smart. Yes.
So take advantage of that check-in. And even if it's an email to say, this is how I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, take advantage of that. And that was probably not the wow factor.
No, that was your
something.
Yeah, that was for you. Sharai, I'll speak to this because my team had to get approval in order for us to make it work. And I was like, okay, let's talk about it. And I'm like, no, like, how committed is she? I need to know. Because if we make a modification or an accommodation, it's going to have to work. Because here's the thing, I'm big on my data and my numbers. And I tell people, you cannot skew my data. We have an attendance measurement that we hold true to. We have excellent attendance, performance, participation, engagement. We have out engaged just about every accelerator you can think of. And it's really those touches that make the difference. So when you look at historical data, most folks in accelerators, you may have 25% participation across the board. That's not true for us. When I say 25%, I'm talking about attendance, participation, survey responses, all the things. You know how surveys are. They're going to hammer you until you respond on that survey. Because that data is what actually helps us produce more dollars for future opportunities, and it helps us fine tune. We take that data from those surveys and we tweak and fine tune every single year. No cohort has been the same, not one. We have taken pride in enhancing and developing as a result of what you just said. So I want you to know that coaching experience, we enhanced it this year. So I'm glad that it was of even more value because you got a customized coaching assessment or a business assessment, and the coach is leveraging your actual assessment to do your coaching. This is not, oh, Sharai, what do you want to talk about today? This is, Sharai, looks like this is what the strategy is. Here's where your growth strategy is. Here's what you're looking to do. Here's how we're going to support you. Here are the things that I'm focused on. Tell me how this aligns. Where are you? We are you and you are us. We are
Yeah,
in it together. So no, that was huge what you just said. So thank you for that.
you are welcome.
Thank you for that. That's big. I want people to understand there's the cohort forums, there's the content and the data and all the materials that you get after that you can look at and study and participate in and with in perpetuity. There are the clinics that bring you closer to the Smart CEO community that are outside of the organized sessions that are open to our entire Smart CEO platform, where we're doubling down on the education. Education is the barrier. That's the difference between 0 and 2 million, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I gotta say something. So, all right, we're at 2 million. What we know for sure is getting that first million is the hardest job you'll ever have. Okay.
Ever.
So, ever. Okay. That is the hardest job. So now the growth plan forward, and I'm not trying to coach you into anything, but I'm just saying, if you're right here, what do the next 12 months look like when we think about growth and expansion, et cetera? Whatever you have lined up for Lavoie and your growth strategy, I want to hear that. I want to hear that today. Okay,
So
okay, what you can tell me.
yeah, that's
Don't,
the part.
yeah, what you can
Kyra.
tell me.
What I can tell you, we are on a good trajectory this year. I will say first quarter, so far, we just did our all hands last week for the month of April, and we're more than halfway to what our goals that we set for this year, which is huge. That's huge to do that. Not even being halfway through the year, you already over halfway to your goal. So we're on the right path. So our trajectory, our hockey stick, I will call
Yes.
is what we're doing right now is we really are doubling down on what we do best and also doubling down on visions that I had probably 6 or 7 years ago because now technology has caught up to us where it's more affordable for a firm of our size to do what we want to do. So AI has become a huge component of what we're doing. I wanted to do it before with RPA and all this stuff, but that gets expensive because I can code to a certain point and my husband codes and all this stuff, but right, that's not totally the highest and best use of my time. But now I can employ different partners and I can employ things a different way and I can leverage it a different way that gets me to my endpoint a lot faster because
Yes.
our time to value to a client is rooted in how fast can we get to that strategic level with them. I tell
Mhm.
people the transactional piece is something we have to do from an accounting perspective to start to get to the strategic part of things.
Mhm.
Now I got my numbers in the right bucket. They make sense to me. Now we can start talking about your story, what you want to do, what's the best way to get there, forecasting, reforecasting, cash forecasting, all those good things.
Yeah.
So, that for me this year we have a foundation. We've laid out what we put together, our framework, which is called the Lavoie way. That is, every client will be onboarded the same way, every client will get that experience, and then the staff, when we hand off, they know exactly what they're supposed to do, what their standards are. We rolled out also this year what is called a high performance framework, in which
Yes.
each employee has to sign to say, this is how we operate here. This is what I'm committing to operate as with the team because it doesn't work if the team isn't bought into it. And so they have bought into that and we're having them sign something to say that you have, because when you start to fall off that wagon, then we have something to point back to say, hey, this is what you committed to. This is
Yeah.
what you're doing. And the team can hold each other accountable for it too. It's
Yeah.
not just me, right? So doing those things and setting that in place and already knowing that you put quality in your clients first, that is what's going to do it. And changing our message up some because I was told that my message does not match the value of who we really
Mhm.
are, which is
Mhm.
that's like a hard thing for you to hear, right? But it's
Yeah.
true. I'm always under my own bush. So it's like saying you got to get from under your own bush and say what value you actually bring and the
Yeah.
value that your clients see in you. And so that part, all of those things together, I call it our package and foundation that is coming together, has already started yielding way more of people's clients seeking us versus us trying to go find, which is the
So
place you
good.
want to be in. So
Yeah.
all prayers up and everything else that's moving us. Really, it actually is moving us in the right directions. And we have data now,
Yeah.
which is huge. We put in monday.com, which serves as our CRM, and we're
Yep.
tracking, and we have people that come in. So we are training ourselves to know this is how often we win. This is where we don't win. This is how long it takes us to convert a lead to an actual client, because we're in the relationship business, and that's not going to happen overnight unless someone referred you and they've already had that experience. So we need to understand
Mhm.
that, to understand what pace we can actually go at. So those are all
I
the
want
things.
Shari, so you just did a master class in customer journey, operational efficiency, and it's a love language to me in my book. I'm listening to you. I'm like, yeah, I'm over here just like, this good tea, because that is what it takes to actually move the needles.
Mhm.
And I'm glad that you slowed it down to share that, because I want business owners to understand growth is one thing, scaling requires more systems. And I love that you identified the fact that AI then has thus and so now has made it even more possible for you to optimize. And one of the things that I love about what AI will do for visionaries that have thoughts of what could possibly be possible is you can put it in there and see what comes up, because you'll find out more than anything that thing you were thinking can happen. You may not know the infrastructure, but you said you code, but you may or may not know the language, right? For those
Right.
listening on like how to make all of this stuff work together. But if you leverage your tools, have smart conversations with your ecosystem, leverage your tools can produce the framework you need. It's your job to understand what you're asking for, but you can out develop yourself. But I do want you to understand that's possible. But
And it is
I
so
am,
possible because
yes,
I started writing a software myself because
uh-huh.
that's what I we needed in our firm. And I was
Mhm.
talking to some other people, and they were like, small businesses that are just trying to get their feet wet and things like that, they need that too. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep writing it, and it's totally built right now and tested and everything. So we're hoping we can roll that out in the next
The
month or so.
service line. You know what? And I'm going to tell you. So, software, okay, perhaps it's a functionality that you can convert to an agent,
Mhm.
and the agent can produce volume for you. There are corporations, major corporations, that are paying for agents like that to go into their portfolio so that they can roll them out to their enterprise-wide clients, because they need those micro niche systems that
Mhm.
will help their pipeline. So we make sure we talk about that when I'm in Charlotte. I got something for you. But
Yes.
that's big. That's really big, because man, if you can think of it, I'm guaranteeing you there's a need for it, right?
Oh
If you
yeah.
need it in your business, we're our best customers always.
Yep.
If you need it, somebody else does. And then not only that, they pay for the development that you've done to do it, right? They pay for your development.
That is true.
So let's be smart business owners. So, okay, so Shari, I'm going to give you the rapid fire questions, because hopefully the audience has fallen completely in love with the brilliance of who you are and this accountant, this CFO. We want to know. Okay, so coffee or tea?
I am a coffee person,
All
hardcore.
right, what's in it?
Nothing. That's how I know
Oh,
it's good.
okay. All right. My kind of girl almost. I need my coffee to be a little shaded, creamery.
Nope. Nothing. That's how I know if it's good coffee or not. If I can drink it black, then I know it's a good bean.
So Colombian or Jamaican coffee?
Honduras.
Ooh, nice. Okay, we're pulling it from the South of America.
Yeah.
All right. So
Almond
now,
coffee.
yes, real coffee.
That's
Okay, so ocean or mountains?
mountains.
Are you hiking them?
I do like to hike some. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, what else? Movie or book?
Book.
Really? What kind of book?
I love all kind of books. I love quirky books. This is a little secret of mine, so that I probably shouldn't say on this, but I'll say
Okay,
it
wait.
anyway.
Smart CEOs. we have an exclusive that is going to happen here. It's never happened before, and Sharai is going to share it with us. Okay, Sharai.
All right. There's very few business books that I actually like. I prefer to read books that take me somewhere else. I love the smell of opening a book and getting lost and visualizing what these characters look like and what they would sound and all that stuff. And I get so wrapped up into that. Like, I love that. I'll cry, I'll highlight, I'll write stuff in books and things like that because that's the creative mind about the whole thing. I love a book. I love a good movie too, but if I can lose myself in a book, I'm good.
We're going. Okay, so I know now that everybody wants to know. So maybe either favorite book or most recent book or book in the queue.
Actually, my favorite book, which is a true life book of all situations, is Master of the Game.
Who wrote that?
Who wrote the book? Oh my God, now I have to remember because it's sitting on my thing. It's Master of the Game.
Okay, so we're gonna find
Not James
it.
Patterson. Who wrote my book?
Okay.
I've read it 2 times too, which is a sad thing to say.
Okay, so what's it? Give us a little bit. What's it about?
Master of the Game is really about family dynamics. At the core, it's business, but it's about family dynamics in the book. And I absolutely love the book. And my sister and I, our big thing is to go, it used to be all the time, is to go to a flea market and find old books that we want to read. So Sidney Sheldon.
I love it. 1982.
Yeah. That book is still totally relevant. You have to read it. It's totally relevant.
I'm looking, I'm like, okay, now you might have just put me on to something. I'm a reader. I cheat though. I'm an audio book girl. And because I travel so much.
I can't do those because I will start thinking about all these other things while I'm doing it. And so I have to have the book.
Okay.
I try it though. Yeah.
You said what?
I try to do the audio book. Yeah, but I just gotta have the book itself.
I get that. I totally get that. Okay. Okay. So let me think. What's my last rapid fire question for you? Okay. I think I've been asking everybody this. Favorite music genre?
Ooh, that's hard for me. As I tell my son, it's my mood. It's what genre it is. It's totally my mood. But I would say if I had a go-to, it would be neo soul.
Okay. Again, all my smart CEOs, y'all just want to be in your feelings, feeling it, emotionally connected to the world, aligned with the universe. I love that for us.
Yes, you have to be aligned with the universe because you know when it's off.
You know exactly when it's off. I will say that neo soul is definitely my jam. And as I've been hosting these podcast interviews, I realized that I don't think you all received your Smart CEO playlist. So I will make sure you all get that as a gift during Capstone because we have a whole playlist that we've developed thanks to our friends over at Spotify. But we'll make sure of it because it is so good. It is so good. Yes. All right. Sharai, listen, I have just had a blast talking to you. You are a wonderful CEO. I'm so glad that you are part of the 2026 alum night class of Charlotte, North Carolina. Y'all have just done something super special to the Smart CEO community. So I can't wait for you to meet all the other smart CEOs around the nation.
Sure.
Yes, it's going to be great. And then soon it'll be around the globe because I'm getting ready to go break a couple of barriers. I'm excited about that. It's very exciting. We broke our first barrier in Qatar about 2 years ago. We got a smart CEO over in Qatar that is just doing her thing seriously. I know everybody's like, Qatar? Yes. Yes. And it's such a beautiful city and such a beautiful space to see. I was in Doha. So Doha's a beautiful city in Qatar. But more to come on that. I'll leave them on suspense. You did a never before shared exclusive with the smart CEOs. We now know your reading habits and what you love. So get prepared, be prepared for folks to tap in on that with you. But Sharai, beyond everything else, I just want you to know that growth looks great on you. I love that what you're doing. I'm grateful for your mentors that started off in this journey, believing and seeing and you hearing them and taking heed. I love that for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciative of the opportunity to talk with you too. So I really appreciate that.
It's been a great pleasure, and congratulations on all of the accolades, the awards, the growth, the next step, the team. And I'll see you soon. Have an amazing rest of the day. Smart CEOs, it has been my absolute honor. And wait, Shari, where can they find you? Where can they find you?
You can find me, our website is lavoiepllc.com. On LinkedIn is Sharai Lavoie. I usually just keep everything my name. So it's Sharai Lavoie because most people don't spell it. So that's me on LinkedIn. That's me on Instagram, in those two places most of the time.
Fantastic. You know where to go to find her. She is doing the work behind the scenes, making sure you have a great story to tell and that your numbers are supporting it. So until next time, Smart CEOs, I am Kyra Rénel, the host of the Smart CEO Smart Talk podcast, the founder of the Smart CEO community, and I have the pleasure of being the CEO of the Kyra Company. We'll see you soon. Have an amazing day. Thanks for listening to Smart Chat. Smart CEOs, you are on your way. We hope this episode has been fantastic for you. We are excited that you were here. So here's the deal. Follow us on all of our social media, look up the Kyra Company, and join us on all of our private platforms. We invite you to join our private Facebook group at the Smart CEOs. Jump in, join the conversation, and learn more about what we can do every day to grow our business and grow our community. Thanks so much for joining us. We're excited that you were here. Once again, I'm Kyra Hardwick, and you know it. I was thrilled to bring the Smart Chat to you. Take care. Talk to you soon.